You're listening to Part 1. Implement these speaker tips before you speak. Let's continue with tip number 17 through 34. Number 17. Do you have a Speaker One sheet created to help you get speaker gigs? If not, design one. Even if you have one, check out my special report that I have on creating the perfect Speaker One sheet, and you can find it on my YouTube channel, bartsmithworld.com/YouTube. And then go there, and under the special reports and business tutorials, you'll see the Speaker One Sheet tutorial I have. And what I did was I took a look at a lot of different Speaker One Sheets, and I said, wow, you got a lot of wasted space. Wow, you can't find this information readily. Wow, you didn't add this, you didn't do this, you forgot to add this. And so what I did was I kind of just created this mock template of a Speaker One Sheet, which to me really rocks because it's got just the right number of pictures of the speaker. It has all their contact information, clients they've spoken for, the formats or types of speeches that they give, all kinds of stuff. Easy access and visually to see their past speaker episodes that they spoke at before. Hey, check out my previous speaking gigs. See me in action. Or their social media links, their website, how to contact them, etc. But review your Speaker One sheet compared to my template. Or if you don't have one, start working on one. Number 18, not speaking enough. Network and befriend other speakers. Speak at their events. Share event leads with them and encourage them to share theirs with you. If speakers have too many offerings, maybe they can pass them on to you and vice versa. You know, this is all before you speak. So if you're not speaking enough, why not? Start speaking and speak anywhere you can. Speak for free. And what's great about, kind of today is you can get speaking gigs right through your computer. You get them and then you talk through the computer, through Zoom and all these other webinar platforms of sorts. So you don't even have to go anywhere. It's not really a big hassle to travel anymore. And you could probably book 1, 5, 10, 20, 30 speaking gigs a year easily because of this format. So not speaking enough. Let's start speaking more. Number 19, leave an extra 60 minutes earlier and arrive early to relax prior to your speech. You can always rest up in the car going over your notes and speech. Plus, you may need time to find, hey, where's the room that I'm speaking in? Or you might need time to set up a booth or a table or the equipment or to find a safe place for your belongings. You're going to need that extra window of time. So arrive at least an hour before your speech. Again, you can just sit in the car. If they say, hey, you're not on until a certain time, hey, no problem. I guess I'll just go wait in the car, or something. Or there will be a place where you can wait, I'm sure about that. But just leave for that extra time so you have that for your needs, for whatever you need it for. Number 20, where's your book? Do you have a book? You don't have one yet? Well, let's write one, because they make for great sales in the back of the room. And it could be the basis for a speech, class, workshop to get you interviewed for more exposure. Plus, books establish you as an authority on what you're speaking about. If you do have a book, did you record it? That can be sold in the back of the room for higher profit margins. Sell your book for $20 and add $10 or more for the audio version as a bundle. And you just made a healthy sale to one person. 20 people times $30 is a nice $600. Make sure you start writing that book. In fact, I was on the phone with a potential client last week about his book. He had never written one before. He was recommended to talk to me, and we talked about it, and I gave him some shortcuts, some ideas on how to write his book really fast. In fact, go to reallyfastbooks.com, and you'll get an overview of how I write my books really fast. I write them in a weekend. I write them in a week. I write them in 30 days. I write books really fast now. So check that out, reallyfastbooks.com. Get your book done. Number 21, spend time at the event before your speech, meeting people and asking them to share their questions about the topic you'll be speaking on. You can use those questions in your speech. Earlier I was talking to someone who asked me about X. Well, what a great question that was, and I'd actually like to use that to open up my speech, because their question, I believe, is also shared by many of you, right? Okay, great. Well, the answer to that question is, and you get started, or it's just anything you could do to bridge that gap between you and your audience, that's exceptional. And by asking questions to the people, hey, do you have any questions about this and that? I'm going to be talking about that in my speech. Oh, I do have a question. Now you got a list of like 5 questions. And what you could do is you could take that break. Hey, I'm going to take a break from my speech. And I'm actually going to go over, I've got 5 questions here that came from the audience before I got up here on the stage. And I just want to go over those questions so you guys have those answers. And then if those questions spawn other questions, I'll take those Q&As and we'll go through that. And good stuff. The audience is going to love that. Hey, he answered my question. Oh, he mentioned my name. Yes, Susan over there, she asked a great question. And Tom, he asked a great question. And I think, George, your question was, okay, great. You're just bridging that gap between you, the speaker, and the audience. Number 22. If you don't have time after the event to take pictures, which you should, be sure to take a few of the building, maybe the event sign with the host, audience members, coordinators, the room, the stage, other booths and tables. Do that before you speak. Take your little phone and now that's my camera sound. Well, actually phones don't make camera sounds. They can, but they don't. But that's the thing though. Document with pictures where you are. Just don't take a picture of you on stage and one with the host. No, take a picture of the sign of the event if there is one. Take a picture of people registering at the table to go into the event. Take a picture of the crowd. You want to collect, be like a reporter, think like a reporter, and take in all that information in, and then document it on your website. Hey, I gave a speech last week at such and such location on this topic. Here are some pictures in case you couldn't make it. And then people will feel like they're there with you. And then other people who book speakers will see your evidence that you spoke at the event. And they're like, wow, what a good job. Hey, would you come and speak at our place? Yeah, sure, no problem. Number 23, watch other great speakers present their topics. Do this regularly. While you wait for your next speaking gig, check out youtube.com, frequently to listen and watch other speakers. And this is, of course, days, weeks, and months before your next speaking gig. The point is we want to learn from other speakers. We want to watch them. We want to observe small things that they say or do that make their performance really stand out. How did they open their speech? How did they close their speech? How did they transition from one topic to the next? How long was their speech? What was the audience reaction? Number 24, test any equipment you might be using the night before or before going on stage. This includes microphones. Bring your own if you have a special one that you use. Overhead projector or hookups, laptop connections, Wi-Fi, special lighting you might need. And I'm going to talk about this later, I'm sure, but if I don't, test everything, connections, cables, extension cords, USB adapters, you name it. Number 25. This is a big one. Charge your cell phone to 100% and bring your wall charger or battery pocket charger. Okay? How many times have we left and gone to an event, maybe a networking event, to look for new leads for our speaking gigs, and our battery's running low, and we didn't bring a pocket battery charger or a wall charger. Keep that stuff in the car. Extras, put it in the glove box. If you're going to use it for directions, your phone, photos, recording video and audio, you need to be sure your phone's at 100%, not 20% power. By the time you need it most, before, during, and after your speech, you don't want to be running on low. So bring your wall charger and your pocket battery charger. And for me, I actually went to Amazon and I ordered a variety of lengths for those wall chargers, the cables. So I have like a 3-footer, I got a 6-footer, and I got a 10-foot wall charger. So maybe I got a table where my stuff is, and the wall charger is like, the little outlet, it's like about 6 feet over. Well, if I didn't forget to bring my extension cord, and there's not one provided, my 10-foot cable for charging my phone to the wall is long enough to reach from that location to over here. It's just good to keep those in your car at all times. The wall charger, which is the USB plug that goes into the wall, and the cable, a 3-foot, 6-foot, and a 10-foot. Keep that stuff around. Ooh, yikes. Number 26, plan how you might time your speech. Look for a clock. Ask a member of the audience to hold up their hand at a certain point. Ask the host to do the same. Many times they do. If it's a really organized event, there will be somebody that says, hey, you got 5 minutes, or there will be some kind of a clock. But do this to ensure that your speech, gets heard in its entirety, and then you get all your points across, and you don't run out of time or over. I do remember once I was asked to speak at a self-publishing little nightly seminar, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And what was funny was 3 speakers. I was the last one. Each speaker was supposed to be given like 20 minutes, 25, something like that. Well, the first 2 speakers went up, and then they finished and they stepped off the stage. Small room, though, about 12 people in the audience. I was on a roll. I hit that 20-minute mark, and I hit that buzzer, and I didn't even look at the other speakers. I didn't look at the host, who was my friend. I just looked right at the audience, and I said, I'm not done yet. Do you guys want me to keep going? As if I owned that room, as if I had that relationship with those speakers. Now, I knew the time was okay because A, I was the last speaker. Number 2, we had plenty of time. It was only like 8 o'clock. Wow, there was like so much more time. I guess my host friend didn't plan it well to give the other speakers enough time. But I carried on, so I spoke for 45 minutes. And the other speakers just spoke for 20. They got in, they got out. That's fine, but hey, man, I had a lot to say. But maybe I should have kept in mind that 20-minute mark, but hey, I also went for it. And the audience ate it up. It was funny because I told people I never saw their faces when I spoke. I only saw the tops of their head because their head was down writing notes the whole time. That was really cool. Number 27. Have cash on hand for change when selling merchandise. At least $100 worth of 5s, 10s, and 20s. Now, granted, people do pay with Venmo and Cash App and credit card these days. It's true. But somebody might want to buy something and, they might give you a $20 bill and you need to have change. It's rare, but I'm just making mention of it. Do what you will. Number 28. If you decide to use a laser pointer, consider green or blue and not red. Keep extra batteries on hand. The reason with the green or the blue is those are nice, cool colors. Hey, red is fine, and red is right there on the dot there, and you see it. It's right there in red. But, for me, I kind of like to use cooler colors. Like, hey, take a look at the blue dot there. See that right there? People go, oh, yeah, the blue dot, versus red, like red, laser, red. Just something to think about. Not a big, big thing there. Okay. Number 29. Oh, this is cool. Come up with a prize or a number of giveaways as a way to collect business cards or a sign-up sheet for names, email addresses, and phone numbers. I think phone numbers are easier to read, and sometimes people prefer texting versus emailing, but it doesn't matter. The point is, we want to collect the names of those people in that audience, and we want to add it to your list. So, come up with a prize or a number of giveaways. For me, I've written a lot of books. I could give away one book to one person for the 5, 10, 20 books I got on hand. Or if you write one book, that's okay too, because then you can give away 3 books. I got 3 books I'm going to give away, and then 1 giveaway is just spending some time with me on the phone. And just a little quick thing about that. When people say, yes, you get to spend time with me on the phone for 15 minutes, 15 minutes, are you kidding me? 15 minutes is going to go by in a blip. Give people an hour. And I just say an hour because you want to enjoy talking to them. And you know what? You can spend that hour on the phone in the car. Or maybe you're laying in bed. Hey, we had our call today at 9 a.m., remember? Yeah, okay, good. Let's talk. I'm laying in bed right now, but you don't know that. The point is give people quality time. This 15-minute stuff, I remember somebody said that to me, like, oh, Bart, we can schedule a 15-minute consultation call in like 15 minutes. I don't even want to talk to you for 15. No, there's a lot to say. Number 30, get a good night's sleep before the event. Eat light or not at all, hours before you speak. So you don't get on stage feeling full and bloated, burping with every breath, because you will. Appear light on your feet and super energetic. Be mindful not to drink alcohol as well before your speech, thinking it will ease your anxiety. No. Save eating and drinking for after your speech. Number 31, transportation preparation, including filling up your car with gas the night before or the day before your speaking gig. It's imperative if you are driving. If you plan to use Uber or Lyft, hey, make sure those apps are installed, functioning, and funded with a current credit card. So you're not fumbling last minute trying to call for the ride or even pay for it. You've ordered it, but they say, oh, please add a payment method. And you're like, oh, great, that's going to take half an hour. Just do this stuff the night before. This is called transportation preparation. Do it the day before your speaking gig. Number 32, watch other speakers at the event you're speaking at before you get up and speak. Hey, what are they talking about that you can use to help bridge their speeches with yours? For example, one of the other speakers today mentioned X. And I'd like to elaborate on that just a little bit because it kind of feeds into what I'm talking about today. Let me talk about that right now. Plus, you'll know what not to talk about if they already discussed topic X, or what to talk about because they didn't cover something or they didn't cover it very well. You have more information, so you could use the speeches of other speakers as content and fuel for your speech to make yours even better. Number 33. Walk around the event. This is before you get up and speak. Walk around the event. If you're speaking at an event with other speakers, and look at the other booths and the tables that are set up, if they have some. What do they have on their tables? What are they selling, offering, or giving away? Take notes of what you like and don't like so your booth or table rocks the next time around. Number 34. Not committing enough time, daily, weekly, to score more speaking gigs. Got no gigs? Hey, this is the best time to score some before you speak. Don't wait for them to come to you unless your phone is ringing off the hook with new speaking leads. You got to commit some time, daily, weekly, monthly, to going and finding those speaking gigs. Research and you will find. Seek, there it is, seek and you shall find.